Philippines has some incredible destinations. I'll start with the phenomenal rice terraces of Banao and Batod, high in the Cordillera Mountains of Luzon. For 3 days, I trekked among what I consider one of the grandest human construction achievements on Earth. It is worth flying to the Philippines to see these alone. I also heard many great things about the remote island of Palawan, with its famed underground river. The beaches and diving off the islands of the Visayas are some of the world's best. Personally, I liked the little mountain getaway town of Sagada and the colonial city of Vigan. The beaches of Bantayan and Malapascua were my favorites. The people. Filipinos are friendly. They're also very respectful and modest. The same goes for Filipino expats and immigrants. They are consistently the friendliest and most upbeat people I've come across in my travels. The Philippine archipelago is made up of 7,000 islands stretching across more than 1,000 kilometers. It was settled by Malays, and before that was home to several indigenous groups. Over the centuries, the Chinese have traded with peoples of the Philippines, and there was great influence by Spanish and American colonial rule. All of these influences have created an interesting mix of inhabitants that still have diverse cultures, festivals, cuisines, as well as speaking at least 150 different languages. English is the means by which Filipinos from different parts of the country communicate with one another. It is also the language of formal education. This is good for travelers, not because I think everyone should know English, but because it allows the traveler to have more meaningful interactions with Filipinos. I was able to chat with the old guy on the bus, talk to the kid on the beach collecting seashells, and learn about processing rice by hand from a woman in a rural village. And no doubt, it just makes getting information about a hotel room or your next bus or ferry a lot easier.
Filipino cuisine, in theory, is quite good, and I had several nice meals and tasted as wide a variety of food as I could. From common dishes like barbecue chicken and adobo, to more exotic foods like kare-kare and sisig, to comfort foods like pancit. I love the Philippines and I go back regularly for work, but I will admit that there are certain things that make me less than eager to return. When you go to Manila, there are a set number of things to see of historical importance, many of them from the Spanish colonial era. But the crown jewels of the Philippines is its natural beauty and rural areas. Everyone who knows a little about the Philippines knows about El Nido and Boracay, maybe also Bohol. All of my coworkers and friends love the small town atmosphere and seeing the architecture and traditional foods. People are so much more friendly. Philippines have beautiful beaches and world-class diving and surf and remote islands, but to get to them you have to fly into what is not a particularly pleasant capital city by global tourism standards. Many of the foreigners think they have hit the jackpot at first, as they marry their beautiful 20 years younger wife after 1 month of meeting. They can't believe their luck at first, but a huge percentage of these foreigners end up supporting their GF wives' entire family business ventures, hospital bills, medicines, loans, and just generally getting used for money until they have nothing left. It's amazing how blinding love can be for some of these guys. I'm not sure why so many foreigners expect the bar girl they picked up to become an amazing wife, and then get surprised when their new wives end up scamming them or abusing their bank accounts. Not because
bar girls are bad people, but desperate conditions. Poverty can make people do all kinds of unpleasant things. So many foreigners stop using their brain when they arrive in the Philippines, but just remember, just in any developing or even rich countries too. There is a small percentage of the female population in the Philippines that is actively looking for foreign husbands purely for financial reasons, and many of them do not care whatsoever about guy. Needless to say, the vast majority of Philippine women are not like that though. All the thousands of couples I've met, expat with Philippine wife who met each other under normal circumstances, are very happily married or long relationships, myself included. When visiting the Philippines, avoid assuming that it is similar to your country. The Philippines offers a unique and diverse set of places to explore. Do not look down on the locals because of their economic status, as they are proud people who deserve respect. Be cautious of scams and avoid overpriced taxis at Manila Airport by opting for fixed-price cars or departing from a different level. Do not flaunt your wealth or try to solve problems by throwing money at them. Acknowledge and address poverty instead of ignoring it, and support honest street vendors by purchasing food from them. Interact with local children and engage in activities like playing soccer or basketball to make a difference. Accept that things in the Philippines may not work the same as they do at home, and embrace the unique experiences it has to offer. such as trying local foods and exploring markets. Avoid staying indoors and explore the country, but steer clear of drugs and arrogance towards local women. Overall, approach your visit with an open mind and respect for the local people and culture.
Avoid assuming that all people dressed as women were born female, as there are many ladyboys in Thailand. It is important to show respect towards them to avoid confrontation with locals. Tap water should be avoided unless it is from a clean source, as it can cause stomach bugs. It is advisable to dress appropriately and avoid wearing loud colors or shorts to blend in with the locals. Use sunscreen to protect yourself from the strong sun, and avoid walking in the rain to prevent illness. Explore different regions in the country to experience the diverse landscapes and culture. Carry smaller amounts of cash and use ATMs, as the country is not as cheap as it may seem. Show humility and respect towards the locals, and avoid bragging about your own country or religion. Be mindful and respectful of the strong religious culture in the country, and avoid making disrespectful comments about it. When in the Philippines, avoid wearing expensive jewelry, carrying expensive items, or displaying your smartphone in public as it may attract trouble. Do not make fun of armed guards outside stores as they are there for security reasons. Avoid trying to be a hero in dangerous situations involving gun or knife crime. It is important to learn basic local language phrases like "good morning" and "thank you" to make a good impression on locals. Lastly, try to maintain a positive attitude and smile often, as Filipinos are known to be friendly and welcoming people. A smile can go a long way in diffusing frustrations and building positive relationships. Above all, avoid being miserable. The people you meet are one of the friendliest, easiest to make laugh and most welcoming people on the planet. Life is simpler, so try to get into that mode. No matter what the frustration is, a smile will go a long way indeed to keeping things right.